27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
What do you got to eat? Here, guys. Ooh. What's this say? I don't know. What's that say? I know, but I'm not going to tell. I think it says it's good.
Conjecture Hoops contains all the presumptions, assumptions, and off-the-wall postulations a growing kid needs. Conjecture Hoops, a big bowl of bullshit. Saturday morning cartoons.
Now at night time.
Mostly conjecture based on little knowledge.
Please welcome Max Headshrew, Dell, Aria Blackness, and your most gracious host, Ben motherfucking Jackson. Applause. Applause. Applause.
Hang on a sec. Doesn't work the same way a real microphone would work.
Doesn't sound, you can't hear your...
Well, if I had a real microphone, not just it's like cheap plastic Walmart stuff, it would be like...
All that thing does is create a slight echo to your voice.
That's it. It's an echo! Yes, it is. Yes.
It's an echo.
How you doing, buddy?
Machine. I'm doing all right. Doing all right.
Good.
It's been a while.
It's been a
we
while.
Streamed.
Yeah, for sure.
It's been a while since we streamed.
Yeah.
I broke my arm.
Dude, yeah. How are you doing
with
now?
Max?
How's your arm?
Well, I'm on drugs, Robert. Not the fun sort.
Okay.
Not the fun sort. Because I've broken bones before, but this was like all the way broken into two pieces.
Dude.
So that's pretty rough.
That is not good. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so it's just like it still hurts, which is like it's been a week. It's been over a week. It's been like 2 weeks. It's been
like 2 weeks. Yeah.
2 days. Yeah, it's been over 2 weeks.
For sure.
And I still have to medicate the pain. But other than that,
can you like come on, put it on screen. What can we see there? Let me give you my medical.
Just in a.
All right. So it's not your shoulder, it's your forearm, is it?
Oh yeah, it doesn't come to the elbow.
Okay. All right.
Hands right here.
Yeah. Nice. And how did you manage that?
Well, a motorcycle drove into me.
Yeah. And you were a pedestrian.
Well, I was a bicyclestrian.
Oh, okay. Right.
I think I was trying to. I don't remember very well, but I don't know if I was turning or just like maneuvering to the left.
Okay. Yeah.
And he just drove into me on my left side.
Daily life in Bogota.
It's all right. It's ironic that I get in a bike accident when I'm not on one. That's the funny part.
Yeah. Dude.
It should happen when I'm on the bike, not when I'm not on the bike.
Well, you are on a bike, just not that bike.
Not that. I was. Yeah, you're right. But I mean, it's really it's motorcycles that.
Yeah.
That Or mess you up.
I got a nice scar there. I was, sometime thinking about like having okay, having
Man.
that as a. No, you can't see it. It's just too
You can
thin.
kind of see it. Yeah,
Yeah,
you can see
I
it.
was thinking like a small dragon, but it's just a little thing, and that was from my time in Taiwan. Very inebriated, cycling home after like about 3 o'clock on a Sunday morning. And I don't know why I started doing this. Shit, I must have been about 30 something, right? And now I'm doing this thing where you're speeding up by like tilting the handlebars. And all of a sudden I tilted it too much one way. Whoop, went straight over, landed on my arm.
Oh dear.
So yeah, we do this silly stuff when we are inebriated. Were you inebriated?
I was not. I was
Oh.
sober.
See, that would have helped with the pain.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just out of control. This pain.
Yeah.
It just lasts a long time, which is something I wasn't used to. But that's okay.
Right.
I think I'm past the worst bits of it. So
Good.
So how did you like these Miracle Man books?
Dude, I'm converted. Okay, let me show you. And I think I've dug these out before, right? Warrior, the original Warriors, and I picked these up for like pennies years ago. And all right. So there's Warrior #1.
Okay.
Yeah. And these things, if you're looking for these online now, like eBay and stuff, yeah, they could set you back money, right? And I picked up like almost. I'm missing 2 of the original 26 issues. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, for sure. And here we have. Hang on a sec. Oh yeah, go on in. Yeah. Marvel Man.
Marvel Man.
Yeah, check that out. I'm back.
The mightiest man in the universe.
Yeah, but this one. I'm back. Not too gay, is it? Right. Which so let me show you the first page of that, because what they did in the reprints was kind of nice. They just went straight into the story, yeah, of Mike Moran, right, and how he had these headaches. Let me go back to that. Had these headaches. Was explaining about these headaches he'd been having and strange dreams. Listen. We don't want to bore the any viewers with stuff that's been talked about last week. So how much of this did you talk about? Not last week, but 1 month ago now.
It was
right?
It was so long ago at this point that the statute of limitations has expired.
In the reprints, right?
So basically,
obviously,
we get to do the content over again. But this time, so far, I mean, I'm gonna take a look at a little bit of different books, and it's really cool you showing the ones that you have physical copies of. So far we're covering different ground anyway. So don't.
Yeah, for sure.
Never you worry.
Oh right, well that's good. Because
but
obviously,
very good of you to ask.
Okay, so issue 1 of Warrior talks about the original Marvel Man. Like how it was. Oh damn, what's the guy's name? Algo. I've forgotten his name. Who created these as a kind of a British Superman? No, damn, I've forgotten what his name was. How bad.
Marvel Man was
Mick Anglo. How could I forget that? So Mick Anglo created Marvel Man in the 50s, from 1954 to 1963, right? And as a kind of a now it's worth 20 euros less. Okay, so as a kind of a counterweight to Superman, but a British counterweight. This is what I understood here, which is why the alien craft landed in Wiltshire. No, not in upstate New York or wherever. No, which is kind of he's one of ours, you know.
Well, now I feel I have to reread the entire thing with sort of English accents
For sure.
on the kids, but I don't really know exactly how to do that because it's got to be like super old-fashioned, corny cheeseball. So I had it like my internal monologue when reading this, Rob, was like a transatlantic kind of.
Well, hello, what's going on here?
Exactly.
Yeah. Kind of covers both bases, though, doesn't it?
I think that's why it was invented, right? So
Yeah, for
I
sure.
think that would be the right way to imagine
yeah.
the voices in my head, right? Like,
I
well, golly gee, Miracle Man, how serious do you want it? You know,
yeah, for sure.
Like,
you know, like it's really crazy that as a kid, growing up watching films like Cary Grant and stuff, you know, obviously reruns. I'm not that fucking old. Okay. So watching these films, you know, like you kind of like notice, but you don't always ask, well, what are these accents are supposed to be? And then I think it was last year sometime, I was like scrolling through YouTube shows and I found one on this transatlantic accent. And I just thought to myself, that would be a wicked skill, like a party skill to have. To be able
transatlantic accent.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, how hard could it be, really?
Yeah, let's.
Is it hard to get it just right?
I don't know. I mean, the thing really would be who these days would be able to judge. I mean, Cary Grant film aficionados, maybe.
Well, okay. What about?
Well, I don't know. Why don't we do the whole show in a kind of American transatlantic accent? Dubious at best.
I don't know. Why don't we read a snippet of Marvel Man?
Go for it.
In with a transatlantic.
Oh, you want to do that, eh? Yeah. All right, let me go full screen. So, hang on a second. Do I?
Or are you seeing my screen?
Yeah, so certainly am. I'm just wondering, that Marvel Man, I think. Wait.
Have you got it?
I think I do. Yeah, give me a second. I think I do.
Marvel Man, family, and the invaders from the future.
Like I say, I have 2 big bags of these.
In order to save the present, the entire Marvel Man family team up to battle the invaders from the future. In the far future, but wait, this is the same story.
Yeah.
That they were spoofing.
Yeah,
that Alan Moore was spoofing, right?
Absolutely.
At the beginning of his.
Well, this is it. And this is a crazy thing, right? In the original print version.
Yeah.
Warrior number 1 doesn't have the 1950s Marvel Man story. That's in there later. Serving suggestion, right? That's in there later, right? And the reprints, they bring it forward. They bring from Marvel Man this 1950s version, and kind of use it as a bit of a prologue to what's actually a prologue in Warrior number 1, and it works. I liked it, but I didn't realize that they were doing that because I managed to see part of that, and then read the physical stuff, and I thought, oh, that's kind of like, yeah, that's interesting how they've done that.
Say what? A prologue to a prologue.
Batman? Yo, I know it's damn. Who the heck? Who'da thunk it? You know, there's that profile. You know, there is that the Marvel Man story. Are we allowed to say Marvel Man? And I caught it last week because just before the show I started watching. Sorry, I keep saying last week. The previous shows, and there's the 1950s style Marvel Man where he knows something's wrong. And you can see that the artist has.
Well, that was at the end of. Sorry, that was at the end of the annual by
Yeah, this.
by Graham Morrison, right?
Yeah.
I've been noticing no one ever really gets hurt, no matter how hard we punch them or what devastation is wreaked. He's just like
But
kind of gets like,
I thought we were doing the accent thing. But
oh,
it's always been like that. I've got to be younger.
oh yeah,
But
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
always been like that.
Yeah. Let's do it from like here when they fix the.
Who's going to play the who's going to play the part of the dolphins?
Oh yeah, you do the dolphins.
I can't.
Yeah,
do
let's do the scene where he talks to the dolphins.
This is
Yeah,
so
right here.
weird.
Before long, Miracle Man is talking to the king of the dolphins. I know what certain unscrupulous companies are doing. This is why you're so angry with us.
How would you like it? How would you like it if someone dumped poison in your home?
Oh, but he speaks English. I wouldn't like it at all, your dolphinness. But I'll get to the bottom of the illegal dumping if you all go back to the sea peacefully.
Very well, land dweller.
See, so he's communicating with the king of the dolphins. You know,
Yeah.
he's saving the world. He starts to get suspicious. He starts to get dubious.
Oh yeah, I think I would be as well. Check out the line on. That looks. If you take that line and extrapolate it, you could make a bowling pin out of that. On the back of his head.
On the back of his head.
Yeah. Oh, on the bottom point. On the bottom frame. Check that line out. Copy that line, and then.
Oh yeah.
It'd be like bowling ball.
His head's a bowling pin.
Damn.
No, you're right about that. So this book's cool because like Grant Morrison draws himself into it as the bad guy, right? The resurrected. The Jimmy Bates, right? Which one is it? The youngest of the three, I think.
Okay. Oh,
and he's evil. And look, he looks like. Doesn't he look like a with hair Grant Morrison?
Really? I gotta be honest, I'm not quite sure what Grant Morrison looks like. But hey, that would be cool.
You don't see it?
Yeah, go on then. Oh, not that I don't see it. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna have to Google Grant Morrison and what it looks like.
I know what to do.
Yeah, you've got one. Here's one I prepared earlier.
Let's Google Grant Morrison. But Grant Morrison doesn't have hair in real life.
Right. You know what? I think actually I've seen him on a 2000 AD video.
Because this is a character that obviously does. I mean, I don't know if you recognize the character. He's not really in uniform, in costume, right?
What, the character?
James Bates, right? The youngest of the three Miracle.
Yeah, was it Kid Miracle Man or Kid Marvel Man?
Mm-hmm. Are you still seeing my screen? This is what Grant Morrison looks like.
Oh no, I'm seeing your Miracle Man.
Sort of in real life.
I'm seeing
the. I know what to do. I gotta tell it to let me share. I say,
boy.
I'm gonna do just share the whole screen. Share my.
Make sure you hide your porn links.
Share my whole screen.
Alrighty.
This is what Grant Morrison sort of looks like.
Yeah, I can see it now. Yeah.
And they they draw him a lot. And so this guy's Grant Morrison, right?
Yeah, with hair.
You see it now.
Yeah. For sure.
So he wrote this book, this story, right? And he had himself drawn in.
Because why not?
As the bad guy. To kill the guys.
Cool.
Anyway, that's something that Max showed me and I didn't know about before. Because Max is a much bigger he was pretty gleeful about that, and he was excited.
Something to do with the lack of hair. He's got an affinity with Grant Morrison, no?
That could be what it is.
Yeah.
He's a follicle supremacist. Or a no follicle supremacist. He's an anti-follicle. Is what it is.
Righty.
They assume that men without hair
Yep.
are greater and wiser.
So here's the thing. I started off reading through, and it was great because it gave me the opportunity and the excuse to actually start reading through my copies of Warrior again. And then, of course, where it picked up, where it ended, because Warrior only had 26 issues, as we said. 24 plus 2 specials or something like that. And so then I had to kind of like carry on with the reprints, quality comic reprints. And so this last week, I've been reading through the Silver Age. And I gotta say, I'm getting into it. I'm really liking the stories. How much did you talk about the Silver Age last week? Sorry, not the Silver Age, the Golden Age. What did you touch on there?
Oh, well, we just talked about how unrealistic it was and how campy, and kind of springboarded from there into the Alan Moore story of Miracle Man, because it sort of gives the account for how all of that weird campiness actually happened, and brings it into a real world. So we mostly talk about the modern world, happy Bronze Age.
Well, this is it. I was trying to find copies of the Bronze Age because I've now got Golden Age, Silver Age, but I'm at a loss because I read a Wikipedia article on the Bronze Age, Miracle Man Bronze Age. Where are the Bronze Age stories? Do you know?
No, I don't know. That's not really my.
Oh, okay.
Well, I don't know what you mean, because which Bronze Age exactly? Because what I'm familiar with is the Alan Moore, Grant Morrison, and Neil Gaiman.
Right. Okay. So then let's. Then I shall.
What's that now? What's that? The 80s, or 90s? 80s?
Let's have a look. Let's have a look. I'll share my screen.
Yes, give me some of that. Your screen.
Yeah. Right. And right then.
This is Neil Gaiman, isn't it?
Yeah, this is Gaiman and Buckingham.
Be the 90s.
Yeah, and what I like about this, I mean, they call it issue 3, right? And then Miracle Man book 4, the Golden Age. But if you look here, Miracle Man number 19. So they include the continuation between the original 16 issue run from Quality Comics, which includes the story of Alan Moore and Gary Leach. Yeah. And it was Alan Moore, Gary Leach, wasn't it? Let me just see.
I think so.
Yeah. And Alan Moore and Gary Leach. Yeah. Oh, I reached out to Russ Leach just in case there was an artist family link, but there isn't one. You know.
But
Gary Leach.
When did Neil Gaiman take over? Somewhere in the teens.
Well, yeah, no, this is it, 1990. So it would have been at the beginning of the Golden Age, which would have been,
Because but this story kind of continues, doesn't it? I forget precisely when Gaiman takes over for Moore, but he does a flawless job of just kind of continuing, right? And it obviously goes in a very Gaiman direction, but he doesn't undo anything, right?
Oh no. In fact, the Golden Age, you don't see. How much of the Golden Age have you actually read?
Well, I don't think very much. So when are the cutoff points? What are the year markers?
All right.
When is the Golden Age? I like that story, by the way.
Yeah, the Golden Age is then okay. So that's issue 2. Give me a second. I'll pull up issue 1.
But the Golden Age is like proper old school, weird, campy silliness.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
kinda.
But see, I don't even like that. Like, do you read? Do you enjoy that? You do.
Well, here's the funny thing about the Golden Age, right?
Yeah.
It's really doesn't have a whole deal of Miracle Man in it. All the stories are based upon people whose lives have been touched by Miracle Man and the aftermath of the destruction of London. So this
You talking about the
book,
Neil Gaiman book?
yeah, these are all of the Neil Gaiman
Which,
books.
like, Neil Gaiman doesn't have much Miracle Man in it, but that's because
the 6 issues of Golden Age are all that. There is one story where what's the female Miracle, Miss Miracle or Miracle Girl or Miracle Woman? I can't remember her name.
I think it's woman.
Yeah. Would it be? No, not that one.
There's an issue where she sleeps with Homeboy.
Yeah, she sleeps with this
this dude
what?
in I think it was that one, wasn't it?
This one,
yeah.
with this one guy who for some reason he lives in a windmill.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, bless you.
Excuse me, I didn't get to my mute button.
No problemo. Yeah, but like that's most of these stories are about other people, not about Miracle Man or Miracle Woman. I mean, she's here, but she's here as kind of like a supporting character to this guy.
Okay. Have you read The Lord of the Rings?
Well, okay, so this is a thing. When I was about, 14, I started, and after about 70 pages, I put it down and never picked it up again.
Oh, you're that rare.
How many freaking pages do you need? How many pages of text do you need to describe what kind of green trousers he freaking wore?
You're the rarest Pokemon of all. The nerd who doesn't like the Lord of the Rings.
No, I like it. I like the Peter Jackson films. I thought they were excellent. Obviously,
but the reason I asked,
go on.
The reason I asked, I'm glad you like the films. The reason I asked, Rob, is because the Lord of the Rings seems like a story at first glance about this great king and wizard, right?
Yeah,
Aragorn and Gandalf the White and what's it? But then when you really break it down,
did you say Gandalf the White? Is that his thick cousin?
The White. The White. Gandalf the White. Gandalf the White. And so, but really, it's a story about hobbits.
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
Like your point of view from the narration is the hobbits. You focused on what the hobbits focused on. You know what the hobbits know. You're kind of looking up at these grand figures from way below. That's why the hobbits are short, by the way. And so I really like Neil Gaiman's perspective with these characters because he kind of adds to the grandiose sort of device that this is that these are gods, right? That's kind of that's kind of the argument that Moore put forth. And so they're looking at them as gods, and like and even so, you could have stories where the gods are the focus, but they're kind of not the focus in Neil Gaiman stories.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's like it's world building, really. It's fleshing out the world that they live in. What I kind of got a bit emotional, to be honest, was number 6, Carnival. You know, because you're following
yeah, the Pilgrims.
the Pilgrims, yeah. And then there's this one frame. Yeah, let me read this out to you, to all of you at home.
Yeah, but do it in a transatlantic.
Well, I kind of wanted it to be a bit
No, I'm
somber.
joking.
Yeah. All right. And then people started coming in 1s and 2s, hundreds of them. And if you don't notice it, check this out. The way this is all written, you can see those little faint lines as if, you know, this is actually written out on a lined sheet of paper, which is a kind of a nice touch there. Yeah, you see the little lines, you know.
Oh,
underneath
you know
the
what it
text?
looks like to me is that there aren't actually lines, but that each
Mm.
line or each backdrop, I should say, is a slightly different shade.
I'm talking
So you
about the
can
text.
see, I am too.
Oh, right. Okay.
So you in like the text box, right? So you can
Yeah.
see like a difference on each level, on each line of color.
Kind of looks like music paper, you know, like or maybe I don't know, calligraphy paper. No.
Yes.
Okay, so back to the text, right? Stop. Oh, yeah, that's about it. Ooh. And then the people started coming in 1s and 2s, hundreds of them, thousands of them. They carried flowers and they walked across the killing fields. I mean, calling it the killing fields as well. Wow. Picking their way through the maze of dead cars and cracked masonry, looking for specific bones. And when they found the bones they were looking for, they put flowers on them. I wanted to ask them who the bones had belonged to, how they had died, but I didn't dare. I followed them at a distance, a trespasser on private grief. An image engraved itself on my retina, a child's skull with a rose in it, threaded carefully through the eye sockets. Boof, ouch. That's kind of like...
Bro, I'll tell you,
Yeah.
nobody does graveyards, mausoleums, hell. Nobody does battlefields. Nobody does these places like gaming. My all-time favorite version of hell is Neil Gaiman's depiction of hell in The Sandman.
Okay.
And I like this a lot. I like this a great deal because it's demonstrating like a certain like religious feeling that everyone has about death and about remembering the past, right? And it's so funny because they know that nothing's going to happen, right? They say they're looking for these specific body parts. Like they go back every time to the remains of their dead loved one, and it's always in the same place. It's not vandalized. Nothing happens to it. It's like a snapshot of the past that they don't even cover up. I don't know. There's just something really, really haunting to me about that.
Yeah. When you read all these 6 stories, it's there's this phenomenon that you have when you read a story, that you kind of put yourself in that place. And if I can remember which story it was, which one is the one with a kid who was saved because his mum sent him to his aunt's house?
That doesn't ring a bell.
Could it be that one? Pages. Yeah. Oh, I tell you what, it's probably in one of the backup stories. You know, they did these backup stories where the kid, where it,
Do you want to look for it while I show a different book?
yeah, go for it. Yeah.
That might be a good way to proceed.
Cool.
Oops, what's going on here? Share, present, share screen.
Mhm.
Yes. All right.
Yes.
Yeah, the windmill, dude. The windmill, and then he
I found it. I found it.
I like this. The computer this morning wanted input on a survey. Do we want wolves back?
Mhm.
There haven't been wolves in England for 600 years. They went before the forests. I voted yes. Oh, yes. Oh, God, yes. I find this so interesting because, like, we're coming off of, like, basically Alan Moore's conclusion, like, yes, this would be good. Miracle Man is the Ubermensch. We've created our own humans on Earth, and it's like, okay, is this superheroes by Arthur C. Clarke or what? And then for Gavin to kind of go in the other direction, and I kind of go all the way through to the end of the implications, and so you suppose we live in this world where there's no problem, there's no crime, everything is just hunky dory,
Right.
and like it would be hell. It would actually be hell, you know. You don't have wolves. You don't have
Um.
forests.
Actually, there are parts of Europe where wolves have been reintroduced.
Good.
Yeah. Well, this is it because there's a whole thing with hello. There's a whole thing with how they have an impact on the environment because without wolves, certain species of deer overpopulate.
Correct.
They how did this go? They eat too much of a certain tree as it's growing, which can ultimately affect flooding because the trees are used to obviously take in moisture. No,
Right.
and if they're not there, of course, then rivers tend to overflood. So
No, it's true. Like,
mhm. So there's this idea of like, should we reintroduce wolves? And when was that? That was in the 90s. And of course, like that's a little bit prescient when you think about it, because I think, and I'm trying to think if wolves have been introduced into the UK, but I don't think they have yet.
do you not have wolves in the UK?
Well, the last, okay, so official records indicate that the last Scottish wolf was killed by Sir Ewan Cameron of Lochiel in 1680 in Scotland.
So they were
So,
eradicated,
yeah.
wiped out.
But yeah,
What, like samurai vendetta style? All
shot,
wolves,
no,
all
shot
wolves put to
probably.
death.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, for farmers and sheep herders, of course, or shepherds, then yeah, wolves are always a problem, aren't they?
I guess
Yeah.
so. So is there a lot of hunting then in England to take the place?
Well, I mean, not now because there are no wolves. There is hunting that goes on, and it's usually fox
No, but I
hunting.
mean the animals that the wolves eat. Haven't they got to be more hunted then? Do you have deer in England?
Sure.
Right. So didn't the wolves eat the deer?
Yeah, but they were hunted by humans to extinction.
The wolves were.
Hunted. Yeah.
And didn't that lead to an overpopulation of deer then?
Well, I'm sure. I'm sure there are more deer now than there would have been.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyways, Miracle Man.
Yeah, Miracle Man. Right.
So
Well,
he's like he has this affair with Miracle Woman, and she's like
hmm.
way too perfect, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't
Well,
even remember
the
like
guy there,
his
I
own
can't
book.
remember his name. Does he even have a name, that character?
Oh,
He
I don't
just
recall
shows
his name.
himself to be kind of shallow because, like his wife or his girlfriend of many years ago, he broke up with her for some reason. And then, of course,
Anita
uh,
is her name, I think.
Anita, yeah. And then, of course, at the end of, it says there, I know
Yeah.
all about them. Anita, Melissa, Carolyn, the beautiful South. Oh, Annika, Oh,
Yeah, and at Caroline, he says, "Who?" He doesn't remember Caroline. She had a basement flat near Piccadilly Circus. Don't you remember? But he's just spreading wild oats. He doesn't even recall.
yeah.
He's not taking names. Sorry.
It's all right. What I find interesting is all
He
these
says
six.
when he had sex with Caroline, when I got into bed, Caroline had perfect model looks.
Yeah.
When I
But
got into bed, I discovered an appendix scar snaking across her lower abdomen.
so who does
So-
that sound like?
What does
That sounds like
sound
George. Yeah, it sounds like George from Seinfeld, right?
That was the first for a guy. The first.
Well, like George from Seinfeld. I mean, he's this kind of fat, balding, unattractive guy.
You
Yeah.
fixed me up with a bald woman, Jerry. No, I know what you mean. I know what you
and
mean.
he gets these girls, and there's the tiniest bit wrong with them. Like her second toe is too long.
Yeah, I
So
know what you mean.
that's who this guy is.
So that you thought
He's Shallow Hal.
Yeah, you read that as shallow. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Because I remember having a different feeling about it because the idea here is that he's like venerating beauty in an abstract way as like almost something religious, right? And then she shows him something really sublime because she says perfection isn't beauty.
Yep.
And then changes into her other form, right? Without the Miracle Man. And it's just such a fun way to play with the superpower, which is, I really, my hat's off to all of these writers, Alan Moore, Gaiman, and Grant Morrison as well.
Absolutely.
Like the way they play with the superpower of transforming between the two different bodies, it's genius. It's really nothing short.
Yeah.
And then he has sex with her, doesn't he?
Yep.
And then
And then he gets back with his old girlfriend.
Right.
Because,
And so
yeah.
that's the cool thing about it is like she was like the bridge back to him to reality. You know,
she is the ghost of Christmas past.
But think about it in the religious way. That's kind of the way I look at it, because religion, you're kind of transcending the space between yourself and some divine being, right? But then this is like the reverse. This is the opposite direction, where this divine intervening Venus in the form of Miracle Woman is bridging the gap between this man and the woman that he used to be intimately involved with, but like he's Anita, that's right. But like he couldn't connect with Anita sexually because of his preoccupation with perfection and perfect beauty, right? And so he kind of got over that. So that's the way I read it. I think it's kind of cool.
Let's talk about the style, because all of these 6 stories are by Buckingham, right? Like were drawn by Buckingham, but the styles are so crazy. I'm going to share something just as a
share
as an example.
Titty Biscuit says that he loves the deer burgers.
Deer burgers.
I guess Kevin, finally got over his COVID. Now he goes by Titty Biscuits.
I know, eh? Yeah. Titty Biscuits. Huh? Yeah.
He says there's crazy Scots trying to reintroduce wolves in Scotland, and I hope the sheep farmers shoot them. Oh, shit.
The thing is, I don't know how many wolf attacks. I don't think wolf attacks in the US are that, don't happen that often, right?
Well, we human beings really take up that space in the ecosystem with all the hunting that we do. We don't really have like a void for wolves to fill.
Thing is, with wolves, like all you need to do is start dancing with them, and you're fine.
Hell yes. Hell yes, Rob.
I like it.
Got no problem with that. All right, share me this.
Oh, right.
What's
Yeah,
his name? Buckingham.
Well, yeah. Okay, so going on to there you go, the Silver Age, right? And I don't know. It seemed to me that Buckingham
There's
was
a
doing
stark
all
change right there, isn't there?
well. Each issue has its own kind of style, right? Okay. And so let's go for full page. Oh, am I on full page? Ansicht. Seitenlayout. Where's full page? Why do I use full page on this? Egal, it doesn't really matter. In any case, right. So if you notice here, it's got this kind of like, what is that? Kind of like all, yeah, what is that? What is going on? All kind of
The
construction
lines, you mean?
lines.
Like the structure?
All the construction lines, and there's a very, very rough and ready kind of feel. This is from issue 1 of I've done Silver Age. I meant to put Golden Age, of course. Oh, golden years. Right, okay, so this is issue 1 of Golden Age. Issue 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? And each story has its own kind of style. Notable is this one, which is very, very artsy, but also has
that
a
one's
lot
fun.
Has a lot of because it centers partly on Andy Warhol. It has a lot of, you know, kind of lithograph reproductions, like copied panels and multiple panels in different colors, just like the Warhol photos, right? Oh, the dog's there to replace your cat. Okay, and for anyone who doesn't understand that, last show. Okay, and then the issue 2 was really kind of simplistic in its line form, I think. You know, like incomplete lines. I took this from issue 4 because I saw that and I thought to myself, I had to double check who actually did that, because I thought this kind of line art, it reminds me very much of Ian Gibson. He does these kind of sunken cheek kind of things.
Yeah.
Ian Gibson, you know, Halo Jones, right?
No.
So that, no? We got to do a Halo Jones show. We have to do a Halo Jones show. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. And then this one, Spy Story, you've got all these photocopied black and white photos, and you can just see they're photocopied black and white, you know, very polarized black and white photos integrated into these stories. And it's I don't know if that's intentional style, because obviously you can tell these are photos. This is minimal art, minimal drawing, at least minimal illustration. And I just thought to myself, is that time constraints, you know, or is it?
No, I think that the difference, sorry to interrupt you, but I think that the difference in all of these issues is that he's trying to match the style of the story, the tone of each story.
Also to show that these are different viewpoints from different individuals.
Right. And none of them is Miracle Man.
You know, each one of these stories. No, exactly right. None of them is Miracle Man. I mean, Miracle Man appears in number 1, and I think partially in number 6. Of course, Miracle Woman appears in number 2. We've got Winter, Miracle Man's daughter. appears
Yeah.
in 3 and in in 3. And then you've got the daughter, like, did you touch on this last week that it's possible in this universe to actually get, miracle sperm? As soon as I wanted to say it, I just thought of Miracle Whip. Not Cool Whip, Miracle Whip. Why are you saying it like, what? Miracle Whip. Why are you saying it funny?
Yeah. What's another word? Miracle
Cool
gloop.
Whip. Cool Whip.
Yeah, and so there's that super baby, right? What her name's Winter.
Yeah, and this is also interesting.
Reminds me of the kids in Dune, right? That are born grown up already mentally.
Oh, dude, I can't
Pre-born.
remember. I saw the film years ago. I must have been in my teens. And,
You're not a book reader, are you, Rob?
Oh, dude, yeah, totally.
Okay.
Have you seen my room, my office
Did
here? I'm
you,
a book reader.
Did you read Dune though?
No, I did not.
Did you read The Lord of the Rings?
Up until page 75. How many freaking pages do you need to describe a certain green of somebody's trousers?
Until you understand that you know to be seeing the world.
I get it. It's freaking green.
No, as many as it takes until you understand that you're seeing the world from a hobbit's point of view.
Green hobbits.
Yeah, green hobbits.
Throw me a freaking bone. All I want is sharks with lasers.
So whose point of view was this one with the baby? Do you remember this issue?
Sure, that's in issue 3, I think.
Yeah.
No,
the baby flying around. And
no, issue 4, because the mum. You remember I mentioned the mum at the typewriter, who also appeared in issue 6, and I can't remember her name. She has to read this.
But she goes to the fair. She goes to the fair because her husband is having an affair, something like that.
I see what you did there.
No, that's the story.
Yeah, no,
and this is her daughter, right?
Yeah. So I'm just when and all these kids, these babies, like naked, and I'm just thinking, this was done in the 1990s, and obviously there's a generation between then and now, and I'm just thinking, would they surely, like, somebody closed-minded would have like some kind of issue with the naked children finding
I don't think so because of how it's done. I mean,
I'm not saying it's bad, not at all.
Right.
It's just that I'm sure somebody out there would be like, you know what I'm saying?
Maybe. Maybe, but I don't know. They're not really drawn scandalously.
No, not at all. And obviously the kids themselves, they're like superior beings, so they shed their need
humanness,
for,
right?
Well, they just shed their need for for hiding, for covering,
Right. They haven't eaten from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, as it were.
I see what you did there. Yeah.
So Rob, like, think about, like, at some point in our collective subconscious, we all decided that cherubs, instead of being like lions with wings and Babylonian beards, that they were like plump, pink-skinned
infants,
right? Like like Cupid or something, right? So I think that these kind of images are meant to be viewed in the same sort of way, you know?
Yeah.
Like they're nymphs or cherubs or something.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is, like, in the story, well, not crazy, but the interesting thing is, in the story, down boy, In the story, nobody bats an eyelid when these
Right.
naked cherubs fly about. They're just there, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And not only the people on Earth, right? But like even interstellar
Yeah, yeah,
goings on with
That
all
that
manner of aliens. And
yeah.
I
Go
really
back a
like
couple of pages
sure.
because what's really weird is, go. I've never been that one. Will you marry me? Asked the Landyman of Sulk. You could be my newest child bride. Dafook. All right, said Winter. I've never been married before. She married the Landyman of Sulk. He was very big, but he made Winter laugh. He gave her a world of her own and for a present he told her the biggest secret in the universe. So this thing about a child, I mean, all right, she's not a child in her head, but she's got the body of a child, and I think she's like 5 years old physically. And I'm like, okay, that's
Yeah, I'd forgotten all about this, to be honest.
yeah.
I don't think I thought anything about it at the time. Yeah, no, that's weird and questionable for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then she goes on this like and the way it's written, you see how the art style reflects that
Sure.
because
Well, I
it's
mean,
written
this
with
is a
just a little bit
story
of
that,
text.
yeah,
Sorry?
this is a story that's written for children to explain who Winter is.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, it's a children's book.
Yeah,
Right?
for sure. Yeah.
And look at how it's colored, right?
Yeah.
And
All
the out
nice
of
and jolly colors.
proportion,
Mm.
you know, weird vanishing points coming off of people who with their head and foreheads and ears and noses and things going off
Yeah.
in exaggerated ways. Like, this is like, James, what's his name? This is like children's.
James and a Giant Peach, yeah? Like Roald Dahl books. Sure.
Yeah, these look like pictures from Roald Dahl books, or from James Stevenson children's books. I was
Ah,
thinking.
so, okay.
I mean, look at this. This it's like almost on the level of a Dr. Seuss, right? Like especially this page where it's just there's a winter as a rainbow ghost. This is winter as a wiggly viral coal, like making reference to things that don't exist, as if they were familiar, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just really enjoyed
Well,
that.
I caught this on the last show that you were talking about, like you can alter your body or jump into a new body depending on the situation. And I think this is a reference to that.
Oh yeah.
And when you think about theology, of course, like Zeus could transmute into any form.
That's true.
Yeah. And that's oh god. Yeah, now you'll know this. Who was the one with the swan? Who was ravaged by a swan? Leander, was it?
Who fucked the swan? Zeus.
No, Zeus actually was the swan, wasn't it?
Oh, Zeus was the swan.
Yeah, there's a
I don't know recall, but the mother of
yeah,
Akela or
there's
something.
an ancient Greek story about Zeus taking the form of a swan and seducing some maiden, and I can't remember who it
Yeah,
was.
no, that sounds familiar now.
Right, and so again, that's kind of like a parallel to that these gods can actually assume many forms.
Different animal shapes, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, animal or
And
non-existent animals, even.
there's just something really interesting about these four
Mm-hmm.
drawings, because somehow you can tell that it's the same person, right? It's the same sort
Well, I
of
don't know about that.
pose, the same facial expression. Like especially between this pink fish and this wiggly viral coal.
Yeah, the viral
Like
coil, yeah, sure. But the other one, what's that? It's you won't know this, I guess, but there was a character in 2000 AD, also in the 80s, 90s, and I've forgotten his name now, but he had this kind of one eye was a oh, it's gone. One eye was just like a kind of like a You know, you go to the opticians and you get those glasses. Yeah, you have those glasses with like changeable lenses, right? That's what he kind of looks like there.
Are you talking about the rainbow
the-
ghost?
The rainbow ghost, the one that looks a little bit vagina-like.
Oh yeah.
You were
It does
wondering
look
why you kept on
vagina-like.
coming back to that drawing, didn't you?
I didn't realize what the allure was. But yeah, he's got glasses like an optometrist.
Yep.
But no, these are really fun. These are really
Yeah.
fun stories.
So,
I like the aliens.
so what do you think is going on with Revival? I think I know what I think. What do you think? Because so far we haven't got the end of that story, have we? We've got the Golden Age issues 1 to 6. I haven't read the Silver Age yet, I must admit. But is it Retrieval or Revival? Retrieval. What do you think's going on? What do you think's going on there?
Oh, with these retrievals.
Yeah, those.
Okay, I know what's going on. So you know how there's 3 Miracle Manses?
Is it the plural men?
No.
or as
So
some of my
the
students would
first
say,
Miracle
would be
Man's
men's.
men's,
Oh,
right? Because
so-
it's plural.
Yeah. Talking of students, do you mind if I just interject here to say a public thank you? Right, it was my birthday last week,
Sure.
and from Sylvia, Connie, Steffi, Astrid, Nicole, Anna, Andrea, my Friday morning girls, and Oliver. Yeah, for my birthday.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, well, there you go. And
That's very nice.
yeah, and I
We
am
wish
going
you
to
good year and happy.
yeah, good luck and health. We got beautiful writing. Yeah. So I'm just
Very
going to
good
give a
comment.
public shout out to those guys and thank you very much. And here we go.
That's lovely. That's very nice. I like that a lot.
Good. All right, sorry about that.
Goes on
Where
too
did we
long,
get?
but it's funny at first.
It gets fun at first.
So yeah, you've got Mr. Miracle Man.
Yeah.
Then you've
Okay,
got Young Miracle, and you've got Kid Miracle, and
Research.
supposedly Young Miracle died in the accident, and Kid
Yeah.
Miracle turns into the bad guy, as you recall.
Jimmy Bates. Yep.
Jimmy
So
Bates.
it's got to be one of those two, hasn't it? So which
It's
one?
Young Miracle. So the extraction, the retrieval. Pardon me.
Yeah.
Retrieval is the cloning of Young Miracle.
Yep.
That is how I think of it. That is how.
Have you read
You should
the
think of it.
Silver Age then? Does it continue in the Silver Age? What's going on there?
What's Silver Age? I don't know what you mean. Right?
Okay. So Golden Age.
Are those the names of the stories?
Yeah. Well, it's like a subset, isn't it? Like what I was just talking about with the first Gaiman and Buckingham stories. Those 6. There were 6 issues of the Golden Age, and then there's 4 issues of the Silver Age, and they come after the Golden Age. So this must be. Yeah, go on.
No, I was just saying, like the guy comes and recreates, like he has the body that he stole.
Yep.
It's not okay. I said clone. That's not right. It's not a cloning. I remember now.
No,
he
but
like
it's like a
steals it.
genetic recreation, isn't it?
Right. It's a regrowing from, but he has to have like the body, the destroyed body, right? Which is
Yeah, I remember
so
now.
he
That's
brings the
one.
body.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's
Okay,
called retrieval.
Yep, I remember now. That would be uniform. One of them was like a postal clerk, wasn't it? No, not a postal clerk, but like a delivery boy, like delivery postman, kind of. This is a story that talks about when
The
one of the
kid that met
guys
Miracle Man when he was little.
exactly, and when you think back to God knows which of these issues it was, the original 16 issue run, there is that part in the story. So it's kind of nice
Yeah.
that they're tying this into the original.
Yeah, I mean, Gaiman is so thorough,
Yeah.
isn't he, in his exploration of source material,
Yep.
because he's really one of those rare talents that's able to grow. He's basically like a green thumb of a writer, because you give him any little thing and he'll
What's a
grow it.
green so you guys say green thumb?
Yes. Do you know what I mean when I say
Yeah, we say
green?
green fingers. If somebody's got green fingers, then they're good with plants.
Oh, yeah. For some reason, we focus on the thumb rather than the finger. But it's the same idea. So I guess all of Gaiman's fingers and thumbs are green. You might say. But
Can
like
imagine.
any tiny inkling of a shrub of an idea, and he'll get a flower out of it. He's
Right.
just really good at that. But yeah, I like the kid.
Hmm.
He tells his like girlfriend, right? He's like, no one believes me, but I met Miracle Man.
Yeah, and then she's asleep already.
Yeah.
This is it, and all these stories, they kind of center on how their lives have been touched, not just by Miracle Man, by Miracle Woman, but also by the events in London. And it's in this story. Oh, if you go up a bit, that was Gary. Wait. There we go. Yeah, that now. Go up. Go up.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So he's there watching this newsreel. Who watches newsreels at the cinema? And he's been so if you go up just one more frame, I think. There's this. Okay, I know what happened to Gary though. You sort of it's a Kubrick movie. That's right, Kubrick movie, veneer with all the documentary footage. There's a scene in that just after the chessboard of breasts when you see this young guy. He's been cut down the middle and his insides have been ripped out. Okay,
Hold
and
on.
it's one.
How did I miss the chessboard of breasts? And yet I
Yeah,
did.
I kind of guess you would have seen that. Yeah,
I don't remember that at all. I mean, I remember reading this book, but
yeah.
chessboard of breasts didn't stick out to me.
So he sees his buddy Gary, and the only reason that this guy who's in the audience wasn't in London when he got ripped to pieces is because his mum sent him away to this aunt who he absolutely hates being with this aunt because it's just so boring, there's nothing to do, and
Oh right.
right, and
But he
otherwise
survived, right?
he survived because he wasn't in London at the time. But go back, and his friend Gary, he actually sees him there. He recognizes his friend,
Oh yeah.
who's as
And
one
he
of the
has a little bit
victims.
of a bit of the old survivor's guilt.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
it's
deep, dude.
it is. You know, I tell you,
No, it's a kick
of
out.
it's what
It's a great story.
absolutely.
It's a good story.
Absolutely, I agree. But I gotta say, sometimes I find the art maybe just experimental, a little bit dodgy at times, but the stories, I've just been reading through them and I've been loving it. Absolutely. I think there's a brilliant series to read through, and I wholeheartedly approve.
So you're into Miracle Man, and how do you feel about the whole thing of taking an existing character, and and making this whole new mythology out of it, like Miracle Man, Swamp Thing, Sandman. Right? Do you notice that common
Right. Sandman. Now,
execution?
okay, I got to be honest, I've not really read much of Sandman. So, are you saying that Sandman was an earlier incarnation that was kind of revived by Gaiman?
So what happened was there's a superhero called Sandman that was pretty one-dimensional, pretty unremarkable, and it was just a guy with a gas mask that would literally put people to sleep. And this was how he did detective work and crime fighting and stopping bad guys. And that's
Right.
it. And it was just this throwaway character that nobody cared about.
Dude,
And Neil Gaiman was like, "Well, I've got
what
an
can we do with
idea.
this? Yeah.
What can we do with this?" And he kind of justified that
Right.
that occurring at all in the universe, because he's like, well, what if this silly old superhero was just the guy that had like absconded with the actual Sandman's actual bag, and so Sandman is about the real God, the Sandman.
Looking for his
And
stuff back. Yeah.
one of the first stories is him retrieving his different items, including his bag of sand, and so that's pretty cool because it like brings, in the same way that Alan Moore does with Miracle Man, he brings all of the very silly, very over the top stories, justifies them in the real world, and then writes a typical for the time nitty gritty realist story.
You know what I want to see next?
What's that?
Okay. And if Neil, and I'll post this to @Neil himself, his Twitter feed. Neil, yeah, totally I will. I want you to revive Mighty Mouse. And flesh out a real character.
Miracle Man.
Can you imagine that? Neil Gaiman, revives Mighty Mouse. Here I come to save the day.
How would he do that? How would he do that? How would he make an anthropomorphic mouse man?
I don't really know, but I'm pretty damn sure he could do it.
He's find a way.
Yeah, for sure.
Rob, what do you want to talk about in 2 weeks?
Oh no, where are the other guys? Where are they at?
There's no guys to say.
It's been a lazy.
It's been a lazy year.
Yeah.
I've been having some issues. I've been pretty preoccupied. I'm getting married. I'll just throw that out there. So I've been sort of busy.
You're off the market?
That's right.
Dude.
So I've been figuring that out.
How the hell a Bogota chick's gonna deal with that?
Well, they'll just have to fight over second place. And then I did this to myself. So I've been pretty preoccupied so far.
Yeah.
The first 2 months of the year really slipped by me here. But
well,
I don't know. Let's get this ship right.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've had challenges myself, as you probably know, but I'm into getting back into it.
Let's get back into it.
Yeah.
Back into it. Reading Mighty Mouse.
Mighty Mouse, here I come to save the day.
That was really funny. Like, that'd be hilarious if Neil Gaiman revamped Mighty Mouse.
I should clip that part of the show. No.
You may as well. May as well.
Yeah.
All right, let's hit it with the outro.
Wait. Is there? Kev, what do you want to see next time? Oh, it might take him a while to type something. I don't know. What?
As we've just seen, drugs make your problems go away. So make it the best day possible. Remember, it's drugs that counts. Take one and take a chance.
Saturday morning cartoons, mostly conjecture based on little knowledge.